Hey, it's Steve. In this video, we're going to talk about fencing. No, not that kind of fencing, but the kind of fencing you see around industrial areas that is typically chain link fencing with barbed wire on top, like the ones you see in these examples here. And here's an example of the fencing that I just recently built on my HO scale switching layout. And I'm going to go through the material that I used to create that fence and how I installed it. So there's different manufacturers of chain link fencing, and you can make your own too. I'll have a link below to Luke Towan. He has a great tutorial on making your own chain link fence. But I went ahead and purchased one from Alchem Scale Models. I really like how their barbed wire topped chain link fencing looks. And so I picked up a couple of their kits so I could do the fencing around the areas I needed to on my layout. And I'll have a link below to their website as well in the description. And this fence kit comes with some instructions here, as you can see, on how to not only install regular fencing, but do rolling gates and that kind of thing. And what you get here is a sheet of stainless steel photo etched parts. So you have very fine detail on the fencing and the barbed wire. You also get a selection of fencing for gates, for regular swinging gates, as well as rolling gates here. And then you get some additional parts here for doing, looks like some sewer grates, of different types, and then you have little wheels here that you can apply to the bottom of the rolling gate to simulate the wheels that you would have on the bottom of that gate. And so you can see here you have your small gate for just for people, and then larger gates either swinging or rolling for vehicles or rolling stock, that kind of thing on your layout. Now I did order multiple kits here, so I do have extra fencing, but this is what you would get in one kit, is 4 sections of the fence, along with your sections of gates. And this is 6 foot high in HO scale, and you have 200 feet of fence section. That works out to basically almost 7 inches per section. So you have 28 inches of fencing plus your gate areas, bringing you up to close to 3 feet worth of total fencing if you include the gate areas here. Now they also give you some phosphor bronze wire, if I can get this out, that you can use for the fence posts. Basically, you can glue this to the where the posts are supposed to be, and then leave some extra there. You can cut that off and then use that as a way to attach it to your layout. However, what I'm going to do though is use some piano wire, which is basically the same diameter. And the reason I'm using the piano wire instead of the phosphor bronze wire that they give you here is because I don't have to paint it. This is basically already a grayish, dirty looking silver color, and so I can cut this, use it right as it is, no painting required, and that just saves a step. So I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and cut this and use this for posts instead of this bronze wire. Obviously with this, if you cut it and you don't paint it, or some of the paint comes off, you're going to have that shiny bronze there. So that's the only reason why I'm not using this. I can use it for something else, different project. But anyway, that's what I have here. These kits are fairly straightforward to install. You can just cut these fence sections out with a knife, and then again, you can clip your sections of post. You don't really actually need to put a post every single section here. For the most part, I'm probably just gonna go ahead and do some occasional posts to keep everything installed in the layout properly, but not really worry about doing all the other added details. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut these sections apart. Again, trying to be careful not to damage the barbed wire on the top of each fence row, since that is far and away the most delicate part of these fences. And so basically I'm just going to go ahead and work on gluing these sections together, overlapping these post areas on the ends. Trying to be very careful not to get too much excess glue on there. I hit it with a spray of the accelerator. Okay, so next I'm going to take some sections of this piano wire. I have about 1 inch of foam that I can stick this into. So I'll just go ahead and, using these old rail nippers, cut off sections of this wire, keeping them all about the same length. I'm going to do one on each end, and then probably one in the middle. I don't need to do every single post. A little bit of CA to each one of these. I'll try to stick these on without causing too much of a mess. And next I'm going to go ahead and paint the fence sections with this Rust-Oleum gray primer. So after painting the fence, there's a few spots here where the paint basically covered up the the grid of the fence itself. And so basically there's a couple ways to deal with that. You can either put a sign there, put some, vines growing up the fence, or what I'm going to do is take a straight pin, basically punch out all those spots where the paint basically covered up the whole grid of the fence. So I'm just going to take just a simple straight pin and basically go through every opening and punch the needle through, just like that. I'm just going to scrape the backside a little bit where the paint got pushed through, try to scrape that off. But you can see now that looks quite a bit better. I still need to clean it up a little bit, but it looks quite a bit better than it did. There's one more spot here on this side where I need to go and do the same thing. Obviously I have to cut this the little piece holding the gate together, but I'm not going to do that until I'm actually going to be installing this gate. So it'll be easier to line everything up if I have it, together. Okay, and then after I'll basically install it on a layout like this, and then I can cut that area there, and then the gate will be lined up properly. Okay, so I'm working on installing the fence here, and what I've been doing is using this little pin cleaning thing here. This is actually for cleaning out the nozzle of an airbrush, and I'm basically using it to poke holes through the plaster and the scenery where the fence posts are supposed to go. So I'm basically just setting it up here. I want the fence post right there. Poke the hole, let that post slide in, and then get the spot of the next one. And this one's going to extend out a little bit past the edge, like so. And to secure the fence, I'm basically just using more CA here. Kind of broke the post off this side right here. Go ahead and insert some more posts. So anyway, there's the installed chain link fencing. I still have to touch up a few areas that didn't come out quite as good as I'd like, but overall it doesn't look too bad. So you can kind of see what that looks like here in this area. You can see the fencing here on this side of the layout. It's the same fencing there. I did use that rolling gate and kind of just glued that in place there. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Anytime you do fencing like this, it's really highly detailed. It's always difficult to install. It's easy to break things and mess things up, and so it just takes a lot of patience. And sometimes you got to do things over a couple times to get it looking kind of like how you want. But overall, it looks pretty good. So things are gradually coming to completion here. Still, these last details do take a lot longer to do compared to some of the other projects, but things are looking pretty good overall. So anyway, that's all for now, and thanks for watching. Bye.